Have you ever heard this dreaded word, niche? Niche.
Make it stop!
If you're trying to serve any kind of audience, I'm sure you have heard the word niche before. If you ever looked up how to run a business, how to make content, how to serve people, how to minister to people, you've probably heard this word before. And if you haven't, that's okay. A niche is just a smaller percentage of a general population that has its own unique needs, preferences, or identity. So essentially what that means is when you find your niche, you are finding a particular type of person who needs what you have to offer. But here's the thing, finding your niche can be one of the most painful experiences of being an entrepreneur or a visionary, and even more excruciating for visionpreneurs like you and I, because our main priority is positive impact and transformation in whoever we encounter, right? So therefore, the niche matters even more because it's not just about alignment for money. It's about alignment for purpose. You feeling me on this one? But finding your niche is also one of the most important things you can do, because when you get clear on your niche, building a life and business you are proud of gets a lot easier. You can communicate more effectively. Your content online gets more bang for its buck. You don't have to carry the burden of trying to be all things to all people. Even though I do know that you want to help as many people as possible, you might feel like you want to help everybody, but the struggle is real when it comes to finding a niche. When I tell you I struggle with this, I really struggled with this. I mean, I'm just now coming out of this, and I learned what I'm about to share with you a little while back, actually. But there's a difference between like learning something, assimilating something, and like applying something to your life. And I'm just now getting to the point where it's all beginning to click. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you one sentence. That's right. One sentence that gave me a quantum leap to help me find my niche, and not just find it, but be happy and satisfied with it. Let's go. You're listening to the Build Your Vision podcast, a podcast series about maneuvering the ups and downs of building a life that you're proud of, captured in real time. A community where dreamers become doers and doers become world changers. Let's go. Yo, what's up? This is the Build Your Vision podcast, the number one self-leadership podcast for visionaries who are serious, not just curious, about building a life and business they are proud of. I'm Clee, the visionary, your self-leadership coach, and it is my mission to lead you on the journey of becoming a visionpreneur, an individual who makes impact and income with their ideas, insights, or influence, because someone needs what you are building. Y'all, I'm about to share with you how I found this sentence, right? This one golden sentence that helped me get clear on my niche. So if you know anything about me, I love to learn. I love to listen to podcasts. I love going on YouTube. I love just going on courses on masterclass and all these things, right? I'm just like a learning junkie. It's kind of a problem, which I probably will address in a future podcast episode. But I just so happen to be going on one of my YouTube rabbit hole situations, and I stumbled across this channel with a young lady named Courtney Sanders, right? So Courtney Sanders is a life and business coach, and she has an amazing YouTube channel that also helps train other life and business coaches, or pretty much any type of coach. You could learn something from her channel. So since I'm in the coaching space, of course I subscribe, right? She is delivering a lot of great content, and in one of her videos, she was talking about niching down, right? And I've done episodes on niching down already. I believe one of those episodes is called How to Find Your Sweet Spot with Kirk Nugent, and we talk about the system of layering instead of niching. That's a whole nother topic. If you want to listen to that, I suggest you go to that episode. I believe it's number 1. You know, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you what I know what episode number it is, but it's probably like 112, 113, something like that. I will link it in the show notes as always, so you don't have to worry about it. But anyway, I'm watching this video about niching, and she offers a program, like a challenge, like a 5-day challenge thing called Nail Your Niche. Such a great title, right? Nail Your Niche. So I'm like, man, I have been struggling with trying to figure out who I serve. What's the problem I solve? Like, how am I going to serve them, right? You know, I've been just babbling all over the place, been creating this podcast content, but still not quite clear. And I was like, I'm going to do this thing, right? So I get into the challenge, and she shares this sentence, and it blows my mind. Why did it blow my mind? Because it was so simple. It was so simple. Like, I was like, man, I've been overthinking this so much. And it blew my mind so much that I said, in some future episode down the line, I'm going to have to share this on the Build Your Vision podcast. So are you ready? I'm about to share with you what the sentence was right now. The sentence that helped me get clear on my niche was this. Your niche is the people you empower to push past the problem you've overpowered via the path you pursued. What? Now, I know you're just listening to my voice. Audio is a little bit harder possibly for you to, assimilate into your brain. So I'm going to say it one more time slowly. Your niche is the people you empower to push past a problem you have overpowered via the path you pursued. So essentially what that means is your niche is you using your experiences to help other people in the same experience. Like, why is that so easy? Shouldn't it be more complicated? Why have I been struggling with this for so long? That's what I'm asking myself when I heard this sentence. So I'm like, it can't be that simple. But then I thought about it, and I thought about all the content that I was making and all the different people I was following and all the different programs I had run to that point. And when I sat back and filled out the sentence for myself, I realized that I truly was helping the previous version of me. And I had been veering away from that so often because I felt like, one, that was limiting my reach if I was only targeting a certain type of person. And two, I knew that me, a little while back, ain't had no money. So therefore, how am I supposed to serve and run a business with people that ain't got no money? So I would choose other routes, other niches, other things to pursue. But yet, the content that I kept creating, the programs that I kept launching, the type of people that I will follow and get into the worlds and ecosystems of were all people, places, and things that served the older version of myself. And it made sense why marketing wasn't converting as well. It made sense why I wasn't clear about how to explain myself when people asked me what I did. It made sense why so many things were so unclear because I was trying to step over the niche that was literally right in my back pocket. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Clee, I know that my niche is not the older version of me. I'm passionate about helping the elderly. I'm young. I'm not elderly. So how does that apply to me? I thought about this because I was trying to disprove this sentence over and over again, but it works. Now remember, the sentence says, your niche is the people you empower to push past a problem you've overpowered via the path you pursued. Just because you're helping someone overcome a problem that you previously struggled with doesn't mean that person will be the older version of you. That was just my situation. Lots of times when we think of the word niche, we think of demographics, right? How old are they? Where do they live? What kind of job do they have? What's their economic status, right? All these demographics. When really finding a niche is a lot more about psychographics than demographics. How does the individual think? What are they feeling inside of them? That is what you need to target. So a 21-year-old and a 51-year-old very well might be within the same niche if they have the same problem and the same mindset. In one of the business masterminds I was in, I was the second youngest person in the mastermind by far. It was just me and another 21-year-old dude. Everyone else was probably like over 36, 46, 56, 66. But we still fell within the niche of the leader of the program because we were still struggling with the same problem as everyone that was in that group. And we had the same mindset and goals as the people that were in that group. So it had nothing to do with our age. It had nothing to do with where we lived. It had nothing to do with how much money we made. It had so much more to do with the problem that we were trying to overcome. So very well, you could be serving someone who has nothing in common with you except the problem that they are trying to solve. And therefore, they fall within your niche. A perfect example of this is my mother. So growing up, my mother actually struggled in school a little bit because she had some learning challenges, right? But my mom ended up doing very, very well in school. And it turns out she ended up becoming a master educator herself. And if anyone listening to this knows my mother, you know that she is probably one of the best teachers on the planet. But why do you think she's such a good teacher? It's because she's helping children in a space that she once struggled in. So therefore, she knows how to overcome the very problems that they are struggling with. My mother retired a year or two ago, and she started her own business, and she was trying to find the niche of people that she wanted to help. And we narrowed it down that she wanted to help children that had learning challenges that had been counted out by the system. Now, this is another situation where this is not necessarily the previous version of herself. The previous version of herself probably would have been helping other educators, right? That would be the thing that makes the most sense. But she went back to a problem that she struggled with years ago. And that version of her, with the problem that she overcame, that is who she is niching down to help. Are you seeing how this can apply to your life? How this can apply to your vision? How this can apply to your business? How this can apply to your ministry? What problem have you overpowered that you are passionate about? What path did you use to overcome it? That is your selling proposition, because no one overcame that problem the same way you did. No one could copy that. No one can duplicate it. That makes you a category of one. Let's use branding, for example. If you want to help people with branding, who is going to be your niche? It could be the version of you that knew nothing about branding, right? You wanted to start a brand, but you had no idea where to start. But you figured it out somehow, and you learned and you acquired a skill that is very valuable. Now you can use that skill to help other people overcome the same problem that you once had, not knowing how to build a brand. Let's go even more abstract. Let's say you're an artist, a music artist. What problem in your life were you able to overcome through the path of music, right? Because that's via the path that you pursued. Was it loneliness? Was it boredom? Was it relationship problems? Could have been a whole bunch of things. Pinpoint what it is for you and target the person that has the same problem that you have worked through via your art. Here's the main point that I want you to take away from this. Trying to serve a niche that you have no experience in while being a visionpreneur is a very bad idea. I specify visionpreneur because there are entrepreneurs that can get into a space that they have no experience in. Primarily if you're creating a product, a manufactured product. You don't necessarily have to be a coffee drinker in order to make coffee mugs. You can sell a ton of those and not necessarily have to overcome a problem with coffee. Now, it would be better. It could still apply, because who can make better coffee mugs than a coffee connoisseur that had a problem that they wanted to solve about drinking coffee and solve that problem with their mug? It applies to that as well, but things are a little bit more loose. You can kind of get by in the manufactured product space. But for visionpreneurs, we make impact and income with our insights, ideas, and influence. AKA, that equals experiences. You are making your life so much harder if you are trying to target people that you do not have a shared experience with. Think about the people that need to push past a problem via the path you pursued. You have the path. You can help them, and they're looking for someone to be their guide. This obviously can apply to coaching. If you want to coach somebody, you should definitely be coaching someone through a problem that you have previously overcome. Let's say you want to be a health coach, and the problem that you overcame is losing weight with natural foods. It will make no sense for you to talk about keto. That's not your niche, because you did not experience a keto diet, but you did experience a whole foods diet. That should be your niche, because that is the path you pursued for the problem, and you help the people that want help with that problem via that path. Now, this can come up as well. I've heard this before. Cleve, what if I have pursued multiple paths in order to solve the problem? I have experience in multiple ones, and I could do all of them pretty well. The answer to that is simple, but I don't know if it's easy. The answer is to pick one. Pick one and focus on it. Then you could branch out, and you could talk about whatever you want. There's a gentleman that I follow on YouTube and on podcasts and on Instagram, actually, called Chris Do. Chris Do, he is a graphic designer, but he's more so of an educator now. He helps other graphic designers build their graphic design business. Now, of course, his niche is graphic design, but Chris, he can honestly post anything. He could post something about business. He could post something about life. He could post something about graphic design. He could post something about time management. I will watch all of it because I have developed a relationship with Chris through his content, and I trust whatever he says. Now, originally, if I had no idea who Chris was and I went to his channel and I saw videos about time management, videos about graphic design, videos about cooking, videos about swimming. I would be so confused. I'm like, what is this guy an expert on? I can't tell. What should I come to him for? The large majority of Chris's content to this day, even though he probably could talk about whatever he wants because he has the audience credibility, he still primarily talks about business, branding, and graphic design. That is what he's known for. And since he has built what he is known for, now he can step out and talk about things that he isn't as well known for. And here's the crazy thing. I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not even a brand strategist. I still watch Chris's content because there's some things that he talks about that I care about. So the whole notion of if I niche down, I'm going to be cutting off people that I could probably be reaching, that's not true. You're going to reach people that fall outside of your niche. There's another person I follow who makes content about high ticket coaching offers for women business owners. I am not a premium ticket coach, nor am I a woman. Do I watch all her content? Am I on her email list? Do I subscribe to her podcast? Absolutely, because there's value I could glean from what she provides. I don't care if I don't fall in her niche. And there's going to be plenty of people that don't care whether they fall in your niche either. In fact, they're not even thinking about your niche. But here's the thing. If you find your niche, they will find you. If you don't find your niche, you will never be found. That's what I've come to realize, and that's why I am so excited to share this with you, because I've been applying it as of recently, and things are so much easier. I can make content easier. I could target my topics easier. I could create services and things for you so much easier because I know who I'm talking to. And not only do I know, I finally accepted it and embraced it. That's the key. So I want you to fill out this sentence for yourself. Your niche is the people you empower to push past the problem you've overpowered via the path you pursued. Who's your people that you empower? What's the problem that you've overpowered? And what's the path you use to overcome it? Hey, if you're in the Facebook group, feel free to post your niche sentence in the group. Get some feedback. There might be someone in there that actually needs what you have to offer. And I know this topic was a little juicy, so if you have any questions, hey, feel free to leave a voice message on our podcast website, blog.buildyourvision.co. That's blog.buildyourvision.co. If you go there, you'll see the blue voice message tab on the right side of the screen. Just click there and leave a voice note for me. I'd love to answer your question. The link for that will be in the show notes. Hey, I hope you found this valuable. I've been mulling for years over this whole niche thing, and I just had to share this sentence with you because it just opened up the world to me, and it was so simple. Keep building your vision every single day. Peace.
Executive production by Clee Davis. Music production by Clee Davis and Christian Hernandez. The Build Your Vision podcast is a product of Build Your Vision, LLC.